Okay, I saw a vote for Job, so we'll just go to Job. And if you haven't been with us in Job, Job is wisdom literature. And so what Job has had happen to him is calamity after calamity after calamity. And his friends come to comfort him. And he expresses the fullness of the distress he is feeling, because this is real feelings. He expresses the emotional distress. He expresses the physical distress. He expresses, even at times, glimmers of spiritual distress, but always with hope, always with a glimmer of faith. So even if he distresses and despairs that he's born, he always still gives a glimmer to the truth of the hope that he has in God, who is good. And he also continuously is refuting that he is righteous with his friends. His friends continue to say, no, punishment only happens to those who need to be punished. So if this is punishment, you did something, Job. Just fess up. They keep saying, fess up, Job. And there's having this banter that goes back and forth that's filled with vitriol and disrespect and name calling and well, I think I referred to this before as like, if this were a rap battle, this is dissing one another. In your rap battle, you are making charges against the other person. You're defending the charges you get, and you're replying in kind with your own accusation back at them. And so this has been going on. We're not even halfway through the book yet, and it's going to continue for a few more cycles of Job will reply, and his friends will speak, and Job will reply, and his friends will speak. Here's another one of those. Then Job replied. There's lots of these. 16:1. Then Job answered and said. Job 19:1. Then Job replied, or then Job answered and said. So yeah, let's get into Job, and I am thoroughly enjoying Job, probably more than I have in other times going through it. I should say, maybe not enjoying, appreciating this arguing back and forth. I am appreciating that on a new level, I would say, of the defending of his self and his honor and his righteousness before his friends with the accusations coming against him, and his grasp and understanding of their arguments that he's able to go through. So, all right. So I've got two votes for Job. We'll do that. I'll get caught up on Psalm eventually. How long will you torment me and crush me with words? 10 times now you have reproached me shamelessly. You attack me. How many times? I mean, I put you down every time. I've corrected you every time. How many more times are we going to do this? You ever get that way with somebody that just keeps coming back for more, and you're like, I could do this all day. How many more times do you want to do this? You want to keep doing this? I can do this. I can do this all day long. Let's go. If it is true that I have gone astray, my error remains my concern alone. Oh, does that not just sound like what Paul was talking about? I will judge myself. I'm the one who should be judging myself. I'm the one who has a concern. And you aren't the ones who should be judging me. This sounds very much like what Paul was talking about there. And so if you shouldn't be judging me, you shouldn't be judging one another. And his friends are pointing the finger at him. And he's saying, if I get astray, that's my concern. I'll have to deal with the consequences, not you. You don't have to point it out. If indeed you would exalt yourself above me and use my humiliation against me, then know that God has wronged me and drawn his net around me. So, again, this comparison of you versus me, that's what the church in Corinth was doing. See, I hope you catch that in here. And maybe you wouldn't have seen it, or maybe I wouldn't have seen it, but we just read through Corinthians. Now we come and we read Job, and we see that comparison that's happening there. It's divisive. What his friends are actually doing is putting a wedge in their friendship. They're not helping, and they're not helping Job. But he again then makes the reference to God is the one that will know, and he'll see, and he'll take care of it. Though I cry violence, I get no response. Though I call for help, there's no justice. He has blocked my way so I cannot pass. He has shrouded my paths in darkness. He has stripped me of my honor and removed the crown from my head. Excuse me. He tears me down on every side till I am gone. He uproots my hope like a tree. His anger burns against me. He counts me among his enemies. His troops advance in force. They build a siege ramp against me and encamp around my tent. So he's describing what his view is of the circumstances that he is living in. So notice how he's describing the circumstances he's living in. We just went through 1 Corinthians, and what did Paul do? He described the circumstances he was living in. Homeless, beaten, persecuted, without food, hungry, thirsty. Fascinating that there's that comparison there of, I'm going to tell you exactly what it's like to be in my shoes so you understand. That's what he's doing. That's what Paul did. He has alienated my family from me. My acquaintances are completely estranged from me. My relatives have gone away. My closest friends have forgotten me. My guests and my female servants count me a foreigner. They look on me as a stranger. I summon my servant, but he does not answer, though I beg him with my own mouth. My breath is offensive to my wife. Now, he doesn't mean the smell. He means the words, the spoken word, the breath, anything that comes out of my mouth. So just to clarify, he's not saying he's got stinky breath. I am loathsome to my own family. Even the little boys scorn me. When I appear, they ridicule me. All my intimate friends detest me. Those I love have turned against me. I am nothing but skin and bones. I have escaped only by the skin of my teeth. So if you've heard that phrase, skin of my teeth, here's where it comes from. So again, he's describing the circumstances, what it's like to live the way he's living. And he just laying it out. This is loathsome. This is horrible. Here's the circumstances. You think that's bad? I got another one for you. Think that's bad? I got another one for you. Think that's bad? Here's another thing that I'm doing. Here's another thing that's happening. Here's another circumstance. You want to try living like this? No? No takers? Okay. Okay. So he's still going on. And look at, man, it's just... Oh, I was going to point this out. Okay, so this is in Hebrew. We just looked up word for love in the Greek. So it won't be the same in Hebrew as it was Greek, so it can't be agape here. But I would be interested in looking up in the Septuagint, which is the Greek translation of the Old Testament, if it was the agapetos we were looking at in 1 Corinthians here or not. One-upsmanship. Oh, maybe a little bit, but I think what he's trying to do is really to tell his friends what it's like to... well, one song I always really liked, Tom Petty, You Don't Know What It's Like to Be Me. That's kind of what he's doing. He is singing a song, in essence, of what it's like to live in his shoes. So I don't know if it's really one-upsmanship. There is a lot of that in the text, but I think this is the almost the opposite, the one-downmanship. It's the... if you've ever had a person that... So maybe in that sense you're right. A person who you say, well, you know... I'm going to change what I was going to say. My grandma passed away at Christmas. Well, my grandma passed away at Christmas too, but that was 5 years ago. And then not only did my grandma pass away at Christmas, but my grandpa passed away at Christmas too. And not only did my grandpa pass away at Christmas, but we had just bought this gift for him, and that was really sad and all this. Is that kind of a thing that the downmanship that people have? Losty, his friends are being uncompassionate to his circumstances, and their words of accusation aren't helping. Absolutely. And he is trying to declare to them to help them fully understand what's happening in that. But yes, he has been mentioning this along, so he's continuing to pour out for them to finally get it. Like, don't you get it? Don't you understand? I said this before, I'll say it. He's mansplaining to him. Let me explain to you what it's like to lose your kids, all of them, to lose your wealth, all of it, to lose your health, all of it, and to feel like you've been abandoned by God for no reason and to not get answers from God as to why this is happening. Let me explain it to you. So, hey, Losty, thanks for being here. Good to see you again, my friend. I totally agree. That is my opinion as well. This is what I will say to people. If you are going to comfort someone who is grieving, may you comfort them as Job's friends did the first 7 days. And do that. Do not do what they did after that. I will say an interesting occasion did happen for me where I was unable to be like his friends. After that, I served as a chaplain, and I had a family who came in, and I was working ER overnight, and the mother passed away. The child went to NICU. So this was in labor circumstance situation. The husband did not speak English, and I wanted to say lots of things, but there was no translators in the hospital because it was overnight. There was no one whose role it was to be translator in the middle of the night. They don't have them on staff overnight shift. They do have them during the day, so I couldn't rely on that. There was one of his children, so I would be using someone whose mother just passed away to translate to their father. I chose to say very, very few things, and as opposed to putting that, it would be I'm going to go check on how the child is doing. I'll be back shortly. I need to go and do something else. And then the rest of the time, I sat in silence with him, sometimes with my arm around him, sometimes my hand on his knee, just being present with him for close to 8 hours, I would say, overnight. I sat in silence. It was fantastic to do that. And why did I do it? Because I couldn't have done what I shouldn't have done, which was run my mouth and not bring him comfort. So there's my story about the power of silence and how valuable it actually can be. Losty went through a season of grieving after a woman I was going to propose to passed away. Oh, yeah, that would have been hard. One of the best things my friend did with me was just sitting with me. There was comfort in that silence. Yes, and I'm often we feel uncomfortable with silence, and we feel we have to fill the silence. That's what we get wrong. Is we feel the need to fill silence, because our lives are so rarely silent. We need to get comfortable with silence. Ironically, I actually continued reading Job in that season. Very encouraging. You know, I didn't go to read Job a year ago when I had resigned from the church, and and I had three unemployed children and 3 unemployed individuals living in my basement, and I was unemployed. I had friends telling me I should go read Job, and I said, nah, I don't think I'm going to find encouragement in it. And now I'm going, man, I should have read it a year ago, because I am finding all kinds of excitement and encouragement in it. Yeah. Yeah, with our Heavenly Father, praise God. All right. So, these are the good things that can come out in just reading through the Bible when you're doing it with other people. And I'm not saying don't do this alone. Read through the Bible alone. That is a great practice. But when you read with other people, you can then engage in conversations about what's going on in the text, what's going on in your life, or what has gone on in your life, and encourage one another. So, good stuff. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing that. Have pity on me, my friends. Have pity, for the hand of God has struck me. Why do you pursue me as God does? Will you never get enough of my flesh? So, what you're doing, your words are cutting me as if you were cutting me physically. They're hurtful. They're spiteful. You're pursuing me the same way I feel God is pursuing me, for no good reason. You are accusing me of things. I feel God is punishing me for things, and in both cases, I've done nothing wrong. So there's the parallel there. Oh, that my words were recorded, that they were written on a scroll, that they were inscribed with an iron tool on lead or engraved in rock forever. So he's saying, I wish all my words were recorded so that posterity would have them. And boom, they are. They are. Here they are. Thank you, Miss Jellybeans. I know that my Redeemer lives, and that in the end he will stand on the earth. Vindicator. Okay, stand on my grave. I want to finish this section, and I'll come back to that passage. And after my skin has been destroyed, yet in my flesh I will see God. I myself will see him with my own eyes and not another. How my heart yearns within me. If you say, how we will hound him, since the roots of the trouble lies in him, you shall fear the sword yourself, for wrath will bring punishment by the sword, and then you will know that there is judgment. Yes, the know my Redeemer lives. Yes, that was what I'm going to come back to. I want to go look that up. So that's verse 25. So Job 19:25. Wow, we made it almost all the way through Job before I looked anything up in Job. Okay, so it's Gaal, Redeemer. We've looked this one up before. Oh, interesting. We were just, who were we just reading? Oh, we just read Ruth yesterday. The kinsman redeemer, the Gaal. So I know that my kinsman redeemer, there it translated kinsman guardian. I like redeemer better than guardian, but nonetheless. Avenger, the person who does it, the person who redeems, and that's not what I thought it was going to be, but that is powerful. So I know that my Redeemer lives, and that in the end he will stand on the earth. So then, and after my skin has been destroyed, yet in my flesh I will see God. I myself will see him with my own eyes. I and not another. So what is Job declaring? Two truths here that are fantastic. And was having a conversation about the Old Testament, and everything in it should point to the New Testament. And some people, we had an argument, a person in the past who said, why are you reading the Old Testament? That's all past, and you shouldn't do that. Well, Jesus on the walk to Emmaus went through, it says, the prophets and the law, and showed them everything in it that must be accomplished, and it points to him. And I guarantee, and I don't do that often, I guarantee Jesus brought this section up. I'm going to guarantee that he included this in there. So, yes, Artsy Bible Nerd, yes, we were talking about that. So, yes, I know my Redeemer lives. So, Job had an understanding that he had to have a Redeemer because he couldn't stand before God. He said that earlier, we looked at that if, even though I'm innocent, in my own defense, I will actually bring guilt upon myself defending myself because I can't do it myself. So I know I'm innocent of this circumstance, but here he's saying, even if all of that, even if I'm guilty, I know my Redeemer lives, and I will be in a resurrected body in the future where I myself, in my resurrected body, not the one you see before you that I've just described and you can see before you, looks like dirt. It's awful. I'm a frail, pale comparison of what I used to be. No, I going to have a resurrected body, and I'm going to stand with my Redeemer in the flesh. In the flesh. He's declaring all of that here in this text. Oh, that's so good. And all of that just points to Jesus. Yeah, Luke 24 is your jam. Yes, Luke 24. Some good stuff. We will, I don't know, we're not in Luke yet. We just finished Matthew. But I'm going to go peek. Do we do Mark? I was going to suspect that. Yeah, so, yeah, Luke 24 is going to be a ways off before we get there. But certainly connections here to Matthew, which we just finished. Knowing that the resurrection happened and that the Redeemer lives. And Job made a declaration about it here. So, I don't know if I pointed this out or not. When Job is believed to have lived. He is believed to be living at the same time as Abraham. He's believed to be living in that time frame. So we had Ruth was at the time of the Judges, which we had just finished, and we have Job, which is at the time of Genesis, which we're in the midst of reading. We've finished the Abraham part. And so, from the sense of Genesis, Job may have been passed away at this point. So, all right, so 19. So now Job finished another declaration. Let's see how his friends respond. I'm sure all measure of grace will now be bestowed on Job because, well, his friends have gotten it now. Sorry, I couldn't hold that straight face for that long. All right, so then Zophar, the Naamatite, replied, my troubled thoughts prompt me to answer because I am greatly disturbed. So your words have disturbed me. I got to reply. Nope, no grace from his friends. Exactly. Nope, no grace. Exactly. Wasn't going to happen. I've been disturbed by what you said, so I got to reply. Can't let it go. I hear a rebuke that dishonors me, and my understanding inspires me to reply. Job, I can't let that go. You've just questioned my judgment and my integrity and my honor. And I know I'm right. You can't be right because I'm right. Somebody ought to clip that. That would be a fun thing for people with no context to come in and go, what? Who's this? What is this all about? Maybe intriguing. I don't know. I don't have many clips, so. But, yeah. My troubled thoughts prompt me to answer because I'm greatly disturbed. I hear a rebuke that dishonors me, and my understanding inspires me to reply, Job. You can't let it slide. I throw down the gauntlet, I pull out the white glove, and I slap your face. I challenge you to a duel, Job, a duel of words. We shall commence. Oh, continuing. I'm having fun here. This is the part that I've just thoroughly never appreciated so much, is this banter nature of it. I'm so appreciating this more. I mean, I've read it and I know it's there. I'm saying I have a new appreciation this time through that I've never grasped before. I'm surely appreciating this, so hope you are too. Surely you know how it has been from of old, ever since mankind was placed on the earth, that the mirth of the wicked is brief. I love that word, mirth. The joy of the godless lasts but a moment. Let me throw some wisdom on you, Job. I know all these wisdom sayings. Let me throw them on you. Warning, Christians, this is what we do when we visit people. We proof text things into their lives. It's not always what they need to hear. We need to listen and spend time with them, not come with Christian ease to tell them what they already know and understand. We need to bring comfort. And I'm not just saying when you're in grief, but when there's any circumstance of life. Though the pride of the godless person reaches to the heavens and his head touches the clouds, he will perish forever, like his own dung. Those who have seen him will say, where is he? So in other words, Job, you just said you wish your words were written down. Oh, that they were scribed on metal. Oh, that they were carved into stone so they'll last forever. Ain't no one gonna remember a single thing you said, Job. Your words are gonna be like your dung. We're all gonna stay away from them. They're stinky. They're stanky. We don't want them. Nobody wants them. Stay away from Job's wisdom. Ain't no good. Yes, mirth, a noun, amusement, especially and expressed in laughter. Yes, yes, exactly. He is, I laugh at you, ha ha ha. The wicked are but brief in their moments of joy and laughter expressed. Ain't gonna last, and neither are your words, Job, ha ha. Oh, but Zophar, you're so wrong. You're so far wrong. Bad pun. Bad pun. Sorry. Let's continue. Where is he? Yeah, who's this Job? We never heard of Job. That's what people are going to say. Like a dream, he flies away, no more to be found, banished like a vision of the night. The eye that saw him will not see him again. His place will look on him no more. His children must make amends to the poor. His own hands must give back his wealth. The youthful vigor that fills his bones will lie with him in the dust. So now this is his friend's assessment of what Job is enduring. What he's got is a result of him being sinful and having had but a fleeting moment of joy and mirth. And now that joy and mirth has come to an end, my friend. Job, your time of mirth, your time of merriment is over. And so it's no wonder you're sitting here in the dirt, a frail, frail image of what you once were. And you're going to have to make amends, friend. You're going to have to make amends. Oh, my settings don't let everyone make a clip. I'll have to look at that. I have not looked at that, so if there's something I have to change, I'll have to look at that. Sorry. But thanks for the effort there. I think sometimes when I get into the voice thing, it would be funny to clip that and then share it there, or otherwise. I don't know. I don't know what makes a good clip. But here we have his friend coming down on him, saying, I understand the reality, Job. You're just not understanding it all. I've got to defend myself because I've got true wisdom. That's what I was going to do. I like it. Okay, good, good. Though evil is sweet in his mouth, and he hides it under his tongue, though he cannot bear to let it go, and lets it linger in his mouth. He's savoring it. This is so good. I know I should spit it out, but it's so good. Yet his food will turn sour in his stomach. It will become the venom of serpents within him. He will spit out the riches he swallowed. God will make his stomach vomit them up. He will suck the poison of serpents. The fangs of the adder will kill him. He will not enjoy the streams, the rivers flowing with honey and cream. Milk and honey there, promised land. What he toils for, he must give back uneaten. He will not enjoy the profit from his trading. For he has oppressed the poor and left them destitute. He has seized houses he did not build. All right, Miss Jellybeans. Yep, we'll see you when you get back. So, again, finishing this thought of, hey, everything is gonna be made right, Job. This is the process of you, the wicked one, being made right. Just let it happen. You're gonna lose all this stuff, all that stuff you worked for. And here's what it's gonna feel like. You thought this was good in your mouth. It's gonna be nasty. You thought it was good there. It's in your stomach and you vomit it out. It's just gonna be a mess. You're gonna have to pay the piper, Job. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. So he's saying it in the sense of this is what happens to the wicked, but he's also saying, and it's what's happening to you. I hope you get that parallel. He's not directly saying this is you, Job, but he is saying this is you, Job. He's saying this is what happens to evil people. Oh, wow, Job, it looks like that's what's happening to you. I don't know if this is what happens to evil people and this is what happens to you. Are the two the same? Maybe they are. That's really what he's doing here. But I'm just trying to say, he's just saying, Job, this is you, because it's what he's doing. It's what he's doing. Hope you see that. All right. Surely he will have no respite from his craving. There's going to be no relief. He cannot save himself by his treasures. Nothing is left for him to devour. His property will not endure. In the midst of his plenty, distress will overtake him. The full force of misery will come upon him. In other words, Job, the full force of misery ain't here yet. It's still to come. There's more misery. Oh boy, can't you just wait, Job? More misery coming. This sounds so good. When he has filled his belly, God will vent his burning anger against him and rain down his blows on him. There's more vengeance of the Lord, more wrath coming. Though he flees from the iron weapon. You mentioned the sword coming? It's a coming. A bronze-tipped arrow pierced him. He pulls it out of his back, the gleaming point out of his liver. Probably a cultural reference there. I'm not going to dive into, but the liver would be an important thing that animals usually eat. So I'm sure there's some cultural things there. Terrors will overcome him. Total darkness lies in wait for his treasures. A fire unfanned will consume him and devour what is left of his tent. The heavens will expose his guilt. The earth will rise up against him. A flood will carry off his house, rushing waters on the day of the Lord's wrath. Such is the fate God allots for the wicked, a heritage appointed for them by God. So Job, that's you. That's you. Yes, Losty, absolutely. What jerks. What jerks. I want to say, what arrogant, self-righteous jerks. Because they think they know and understand. And they don't. And they're accusing. And this so goes along with our 1 Corinthians passage that we were just looking at, where Paul was talking about judging. You know, I'm going to go ahead and go back to that section, just because I think it's a good thing to compare. Where was that? Okay. Now it is required that those who have been given... Oh, no, sorry, here. Verse 3 of 4. I care very little if I am judged by you and by a human court. Indeed, I do not even judge myself. My conscience is clear, but that does not make me innocent. It is the Lord who judges me. Therefore, judge nothing before the appointed time. Wait until the Lord comes. He will bring a light what is hidden in darkness and will expose the motives of the heart. At that time, each will receive their praise from God. So the last part, maybe Job's not fully expressing, but the fact of him saying, I know my Redeemer lives. There's the one who will come and judge, and that I'll stand before God, and I will receive praise. If I'm deserving of praise, I'll stand, I'll be resurrected. It's in there indirectly. I don't want to push it too hard, but it's in there. And here's the piece of that Job is declaring against his friends. I don't care if I'm judged by you or human court. Indeed, I don't judge myself. My conscience is clear. He keeps saying that over and over again in so many ways. He keeps telling them, my conscience is clear. I know I've done nothing wrong. I know, and I want to stand before the judge, and someday I will stand before the judge. And so I want to bring this. And so his friends don't get that at all. They're totally missing it. They're doing what the church in Corinth is doing to one another. So, all right. See, that's the fun thing of reading the way that this system does. Is we may have never saw directly that connection in 1 Corinthians 4 and here in Job 19. But by reading them both either a day apart or a week apart, or even today we read them on the same day. Yeah, all there, all in the text, all good stuff. So, all right, thank you all for the good stream today. Yes, that was good stuff, fun stuff. I enjoyed that a lot. Lots of good engagement. People that are lurking, thanks for being here. Crazy Cries, thanks for the raid. And Ukulele, thanks for the suggestion to come over here with the party to raid. The Quiz King and the Action Toys channel, thanks for the follows, friend. Thanks for being here. I appreciate that. Oh, you're welcome.